All right, we're going to make this cassette player for the interrogation room, and I can provide you this image. I'll give you the download link just as a, just as a reference to look at. We're not going to be modeling from it. We're just going to do this. Now, there's a lot. All this is obviously geometry, and there's stuff that you would probably choose to do in a graphics program like Substance Painter, but we'll just go ahead and do this, and we'll model it in this video and texture it in the next video. All right, so it's not going to look exactly the same because we're not doing it off the diagram exactly. I'm just going to do this. Okay, so I'm going to bring an edge loop in here, and I'm going to bring this down, and what I need to make sure is that it's wide enough, I guess, and long enough to fit those cassettes in there. Alright, so I'm going to do some edge loops here to create the areas that I'm going to need. The areas for the buttons. And we're going to have a little area for like speaker stuff there. And I want a little bit of a space in between. And an area for the cassettes in there. And I hope that's going to be wide enough. We'll find out soon enough. I'm going to extrude this down. This one's going to go down quite far. This one's going to go down not quite as far. And I need another cut here. And let's just have a look here. Put another cut there. See the buttons go in there. So let's select those faces and delete them. And then press 2 for edge selection. Select that edge and switch this to edge for snapping. It's off right now. When I press Control, it'll be on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press E to extrude, and I'm going to come down, and then I'm going to hold Control and sort of mouse over this, so it'll snap to that same level. But that one's still selected, and then I'm going to select that one. I'm going to press F to make a face. This edge and this edge, F. And come on over here. This edge and this edge, F. Like that. So I got an area for the buttons. And I got that depression now. Now at the back, there's a space for some like RCA type jacks. So I'm going to make a cut through here. I'm going to pull it in like this. And let's see where those are going to go. Gosh, it's hard to tell. Put them up there. How's that going to affect things? Okay. I could do it right there, although I kind of would prefer it lower down. So I'm going to dissolve that edge, and put an edge there, and then take this face here and extrude it in a little bit, like that. So I think I got my main areas. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bevel. Now I'm in different units here now. Yeah, it doesn't really matter to you, but I'll shade smooth, and I'll put on weighted normal, and normal's auto smooth. So you get a bit of a bevel there. Okay, let's have a look at the buttons first. Let's select that face, Shift D to duplicate it, pull it out and up. Hope I went back far enough. Let's P to break it out. So it'll still have those modifiers on it. Let's extrude it up. Don't worry about the shape yet. Let's put an edge loop there. Let's start taking this and pulling it under. You can see the bevel changing, which is good. Let's scale this in the X a bit. And that's not quite what I want. So I'm going to bring that back and put another cut there, actually. So I have a flat region out in the front. I'll pull that back. That's a little bit better. Scale that in the X. So I'm going to come underneath it. So let's slash key to focus on it and take these two faces, and we'll get rid of those. And let's go over to the bevel itself and put it at, let's try 0.03. No. Okay, 0.01. Slash key to bring stuff back. Now, back to the button. I'm going to take this edge and slide it back further. And I'm going to take this edge here and I'm going to pull it further. I want it a little bit more angled like that. Let's bring that in. Let's scale it up actually. Alright, let's just array that and see what it would look like. I'm going to plug in 1.02 or 3. Let's try. I want to try to get 5 buttons on there. Okay, I'm going to look from the top. I'm going to ask to scale just a little bit. Yeah, I could probably live with those. We're going to be angling them in a bit. Okay, so we'll do that. Let's put the detail on here. Now, again, you know, whether or not you would want to do this in geometry or texture, but I'm going to go ahead and do it in geometry. All right, so we've got a space here. We've got a plane here, a rectangle. We could use that. So let's Shift D and duplicate it, pull it up. I'm going to scale this in the X a little bit. We're going to P to break it out and then get rid of the array on it. And I'm going to bring it forward. Could probably use it around that size. So I'm going to extrude it down just a little bit, get rid of that bottom face, select it, push it into the surface, and just look. I think I'm going to need a little bit more further. I think I will scale it in the Y a bit. I'll leave a little bit of space here for any text I want to put on later. Let's just look at that. Yeah, I'm going to take that now and join it, and that'll propagate it along the array itself as well. Let's turn on the cavity shader. And very soon we're going to check our, well, let's do that right now. Yeah, see that stuff. All right, so select it all, Alt N, recalculate outside. Everything is flipped the right way now. So that's good. Now at the front here, let's go in and let's select this face and Shift S, cursor to selected, bring the 3D cursor there, and then let's bring in a cylinder. But let's go for something like 18 vertices and just n-gons on the end. Scale it down in edit mode, and then rotate Y90. Scale that in the X out as wide as you want it to be. It could be similar width to that, that's fine. Okay, so we've got that. Let's look down from the top and let's slash key to focus on that. Actually, we don't need to look from the top. Let's select these faces and Control B will round them. Let's pull back, roll up maybe 2 or 3 times. We'll shade smooth it a bit. Look from the top now, and in wireframe and 1 for vertex selection, I'm going to get rid of all of this, all right, to roughly where the middle would be. I'll just do it like that. And then 2 for edge selection, Shift Alt and click there, and F to make a face, and do that on the other side. Okay, back into solid view and slash key, and that's a little bit big, tell you the truth, so I'm going to scale it down a bit. And then I'm going to push it in, something like that, shade smooth, and I'll join that to here. But just before I do, in edit mode or object mode, I'm going to duplicate it up. Now I can take this and I can join it, and now it's on all of the buttons. I don't know, just another feature. You're not going to see this too well on the desk, but it's going to be there. Let's rotate Z90. Okay, and rotate Y90 minus, scale it down, and I'm going to put those on top of this for a little bit of texture. Now this is definitely something you probably would do in a different graphic software as a texture instead of as geometry, but I'm just going to do it this way anyhow. All right, let's have a look at this. Let's say we arrayed this and gave it a bit of space. I'm going to go for something like 5. And just look and see how that would look to me. I think that would look okay. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the array and join those, and we'll check here again. Okay. So that's the buttons right there. I think at this point I could go ahead and rotate them. So I think I'll do that. I'm just going to come in. I'm going to look from the side, and I'm just going to press R to rotate. till it's pretty much parallel with this, and G, I'm going to pull it down. It just gives it a different look. It's a bit more streamlined. I don't know how well you could push those down, but that's maybe the way I like it. I wonder if I didn't rotate it quite as much, and you had a bit of room to push them down. That's good enough anyhow. Yeah, any way you look at it. Okay, now on the bevel itself for the main body, I'd like to come in here under geometry and change this to arc, and just watch the edges here. They should get a little rounder. There, and that looks a little bit better, I think. Okay, so what's next? We could do the little button on here. Let's take maybe this, Shift D, we'll slide it down, we'll scale it down, we'll break it out, P to break it out for now at least. Select it, and let's switch to normal, and now we can move in the orientation, the correct orientation for that, if that made any sense. Okay, I'm going to press I to inset, pull in, E, and just sort of gesture outwards a bit, some kind of a button here. Select that outer part, E to extrude, and let's see, I'm going to just pull it back and try to get it relatively straight. I don't think I did a very good job of that. There we go. That's close enough. Okay, we'll take the whole thing and push it in. You could change. Well, I'm going to be joining it anyhow, so okay, I might scale that in the Y a bit. I'm going to Shift D to duplicate and just drag another one over. So there's two of them there. And let's see where they're positioned. Kind of inside of the button area. Okay, I'm going to join them. You don't have to, but I am for now. Okay, maybe a little label here if you want something like that. So take this, Shift D, scale in the X. Remember, I'm still in normal, and I'm going to pull it out a little bit. P to break it out, take it again, extrude down, get rid of that back face, select it, and Alt N, recalculate outside, and push it in, and I'll join that. So we have that so far. Before I go any further, let's just do the bottom of this. Control 7, actually, maybe I'll grab the edge. We'll do it that way. Let's go back to global. My kid, one kid's at school, the other one's here, my wife, so you might hear that. Shift D, pull that down, P to break it out. Let's focus just on that and come in. I'm going to F to make a face, but there are some extra vertices I want to get rid of, so I'm just going to go around and select everything that's not, the corners. So we can get rid of all these. We'll dissolve them, we won't delete them. Okay, X, dissolve vertices. So hopefully that I got everything there. Okay. Let's go back in, and I'll pull it down a little bit more. We'll look from the side, and we're going to extrude up like that. Okay, let's just leave that there for the moment. We're going to do some other work on it. Actually, I might need an edge there just to tame that a bit. I'm going to be rounding these together, and that will take care of that. I do think I want it a little bit thicker though, like that. And I think maybe it's time to round now. So I'm going to select the main body and that and go into edit mode. Edge selection number 2, Shift Alt and click there, and click there, click there, Shift Alt and click there and there, and the back corner. I'm just going to turn to the front again and Control B to pull. And I want to have, I think I'm going to have 5 segments in there. And that has pretty much tamed this. However, yeah, it's flipped. So I calculate outside, and I'm going to pull that down just a little bit. So it looks a little bit more like the vision. You might as well select this bottom face and bring the 3D cursor there and do the feet. That's going to just be simply a cylinder 18. I need nothing on the ends. Scale it. Control 7 to look from the bottom. G to drag it up. Decide on the size of the feet that you want. Scale them down a bit. 2 for edge selection, grab that, and S to scale. Just sort of taper it in a bit. It's a bit long, so I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to scale it in the Z until I get the size that I would want. And let's just look and position it. We can shade smooth that. You're not going to see the bottom, so that's why it's open. Okay, 3D cursor is right there, so we should be able to just go ahead and mirror it in the X and in the Y. And that's done. I'm going to leave them there. I'm not going to join them. Not at this point, anyhow. Let's go on and do some of this stuff here. Now, I'm going to take this piece here, Shift D to duplicate it, pull it up, P to break it out. And I'm going to use that to make this. All right, it's a little bit hard to tell what's going to be when it's not colored, but essentially I think this will probably be black, and this part underneath there will be black as well, if that even matters to you at this point. I'm going to cut this, and let's get rid of that. I could have scaled it, but I'm going to scale it down and just get it to the position that I would want, roughly like that. All right, I'm going to be arraying this in a moment. I'm going to work on just one of these pieces. So with that there, I'm going to Shift D to duplicate that plane and scale it down. And I guess I moved it a little bit. I'm going to scale it in the X. Get it roughly equal, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I've got that piece. I'm going to extrude and pull through. And I guess I didn't separate. So I'm going to select it all, P to break it out. And on this thing, I want to get rid of all of this stuff, including that. And I'll shade it flat. I just want a square that can cut through. But I'm going to round the corners first. So in edge selection, I'm going to select these edges. And I'm going to Control B, bevel. I'll have 5. That's all I need to do right there. So I'm going to select this piece here. And I'm going to collapse those. Add Boolean. I'm going to drag it to the top on difference. And with the eyedropper, I will select that and apply. Should be able to get rid of that. Okay, didn't go. So have a look at your orientations. Okay, if ever your Boolean doesn't work, make sure that everything is flipped the right way, and then you should be good to go, unless there's some other problem. So did I lose the Boolean? I guess I did. Yeah, because I applied it and then it was gone. Okay. So there we go. Now what I'm going to do is in edge selection, I'm going to select those edges. And I'm going to press E to extrude. It's going to go a bit weird because I've got the bevel on still. I'm going to pull down a bit and then select the edges again. And I'm going to bevel these. I'm going to bevel them by hand. I like it a bit better. Just going to do that. Okay, now array. And I might see if I can get 3 that way. And then I'm going to duplicate, no, not apply. I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to go down in the Y, probably minus Y, eh? -1 in the Y, and 0 in the X. And we're going to see if we can get this thing to fit, if I want 3 rows, and I think I do want 3 rows. All right, so let's pull that in here. Just to scale that. Something like that. But I want it a little bit longer, so I'm going to scale it in the X. And just do that. That's probably okay like that. Alright, that's probably okay. And then we'll make this little area here. So what I'm going to do, come back into the body and use that piece again. Shift D, pull it up, pull it over. P to break it out. So I got that. And I'm going to scale this in the Y and make it into a nice little square. I'm just going to scale it really small. And that's going to come up here. I'm going to make one circle and then I'm going to array it. And lots of different ways, but I think the way I'll do it is I will put edge loops here, select this point. Let's do it this way. And then let's Shift Control B to bevel it. I'll pull out and it'll get that sort of star. It reminds me of Christmas. I'm going to click there, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to adjust the shape until it goes outwards, like about that. Okay. And then I am going to deselect it. In face selection, I'm going to select all of these, and I'm going to delete those faces, and I'm going to reselect the edges like that. I'm going to right click and choose Loop Tools Circle. Let's make it a bit of a better circle. Okay, now I'm going to select those edges again, and I'm going to extrude them down just like I did over here. All right, and something like that. Maybe I'll even make them come in. I don't know. And I might chamfer this. So, and then reset my bevel tool. So Control B and pull. I just want one. I want to come out like this, but I'm going to go back to 0.5. All right, so that's good. Like that. Let's try. Let's see what this is going to look like without that. Maybe I don't need that. All right, let's look at this now. Let's try, let's get rid of that for now. Let's try an array. And I was thinking of, what do I want, 4 or 5? I have 4 here, so maybe I'll do it this way. And then I'll adjust the overall size in a bit. So with that one like that, let's do the same thing. Let's duplicate that and do -1 here and 0 here. And we have our little plate. Now obviously we're using polys here, so what can you do? It's a bit of an odd shape. So let's do this. Well, what we'll do is we'll just extrude the side. So let's apply the arrays on this thing. Go in, merge by distance. We got rid of some. That's always nice. Let's see if we can get this to fit better. In fact, I may adjust the body of the cassette player. I'm trying to think at the same time. Okay, I want to extrude these down so it looks like a little piece that fits in there a little bit better. And I probably do need that bevel just to sharpen things up. So I'm going to put that back on and pull this in. And maybe I do want to do this. If I pull that down to here, I'm going to do something on this as well. Okay, I'm going to apply the arrays on this one as well. Focus on it. Select it. Merge by distance. We got rid of some more. Very good. I'm going to select all the edges all the way around. Is that it? E to extrude, pull down, we'll know soon enough. Slash key, yeah, I want some thickness. Yeah, I might move this in and then squish this down. So sometimes you have to do that kind of stuff. Let's see, let's look in wireframe, see how easy it would be to do. Grab all that. No, you know what? Yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. Let's try that just to have a look at that. And maybe can I get more space here? No, you know what? I think I need, no, I don't need too much space there. So we'll grab this as well and pull it down. We'll have a little bit of, be a little bit different than the reference scale in the Y. And just keep manipulating it till you get the size that you want. Everything fits. How's that? I don't want my circles too much. Alright, something like that. You get fiddle with that stuff until the cows come home, if the cows ever do come home. Let's do that. Let's check everybody. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, easy modeling, right? All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to select this whole area. Shift D to duplicate, pull it up, P to break it out, go back in and get rid of this edge. No, we're not going to do that. Well, yeah, we are. Get rid of that edge. We're going to make the cover here. Okay, so let's see what we want. We want sort of a bigger area here and smaller there. So, okay, first of all, let's Control R and Control B and get the sides like that, let's say. And we'll have a bigger area down there and a smaller area up there. And then we'll get rid of that face, delete that face, something like that, right? So let's come in here and put a split and split that out. A little thing you could pull up, pull down to about there, and then let's take maybe these two vertices. It's hard to tell. We'll focus on that. These two vertices, and maybe we'll scale them in the X. No, you know what? I don't want it too big, so I'm going to scale the whole thing in the X. And then maybe I'll get rid of that face. That might be a little bit big, so I'm going to select all these edges and pull them down. Let's try that, and then just extrude down. Not too thick, like that, and maybe we'll change this bevel to, let's try 0.1 slash key. Just have that, I don't know, somewhere like that. So we'd have that. And then, of course, underneath that, we're going to have those, the tape. I might make this a little bit more rectangular, thinner rectangle. Okay, so now my 3D cursor is right there. That's fine. Let's make those reals. Circle, 18, scale. Just pull it up. We can change the size later. Okay, so E to extrude, come in a little ways. E to extrude, come in a ways. This is where we're going to do the holes. E to extrude, come in one more, down to a central hole. Face selection, I'm going to select the top 4 faces. Skip 2, another 4. Skip 2, another 4. All right, so I have 2 spaces in between. Okay. I to inset, hold shift, pull in just a little bit. X faces, get rid of those faces. Now, next thing here, let's just focus on that. Next thing we're going to do is shift alt and click all these edges all around. And let's get the right edges. Okay, let's get the right edges, just the inner edge. Like that, maybe the inner edge here, the outer edge. We're going to mean crease. Shift D and pull. I'm going to pull all the way. Okay. Now, Control 2 for 2 subdivisions. Take this and extrude down just a little bit, not too much, and shade smooth. Hopefully that's enough. Okay, so we're going to have that. I'm going to go in and I'm going to duplicate and pull down a little ways so that the tape can be in between there, and just a little ways, maybe a bit more. So we'll have it like that. And I'll put the tape inside there. So I think I'll do that right now. I'm going to come in and I'm going to bring the 3D cursor right there. And then I'm going to bring in another circle. I'll use 18 again. I hope that's enough. I'm going to scale it down so that I see the circle through my reels there. F to make a face. I'm going to look from the side and I'm going to pull it down. E to extrude, and I'm going to pull it up like that. Shade smooth. And I think what I'll do, I might just do auto smooth there. And it, you know, if you want, you can put on a subdivision. I don't think I'm going to. And if you want, you can do texture on this to make it look, but it's gonna be so small, I'm barely gonna see that. Let's try hiding this. Oh, and by the way, do I have that arch on that? Yeah, I do. Arc, whatever. Let's try hiding that and taking all these pieces. I'll do one more thing there. And let's set the origin to geometry and pull that down. I want to get these as big as I can, but to have enough room. I'm going to move it away from the 3D cursor, which was right there. Scale that up a bit. Pull that down. And we're going to see what we can do to mirror this. Yeah, okay, everybody's all right. So let's set the origin to the 3D cursor, and let's just try a straightforward mirror. And just about makes it. I might have to make these a little small. Let's Alt-H to bring that back. Yeah, I can make them a bit smaller. That's all right. Okay, let's come in here, and let me just have a look here. I might drag an edge loop in here. All right, let's grab this and go into edit mode. And scale it down just a bit. Pull it in a tiny bit away from the wall. You're not going to see the wall anyhow, so I mean, I think that's okay. So I think what I would do at this point is I would apply the mirror. I'm going to apply, not the subdivision, no, thank you, the mirror, so that I can go into this one. I can select these pieces, select a couple pieces and Control L. Look from the top. I'm going to rotate in the Z so that the position of the circles aren't exactly the same. And then I'll take this, the tape, and I'll set the origin to the 3D cursor, and I will mirror that. I will apply the mirror. I'll go in, I'll select a bit of this and Control L, and I'm going to scale Shift Z so that the amount of tape on there is different. Let's hide that, come in here and select these faces, Shift D to duplicate, pull them out, scale them, P to break them out, get rid of this edge, dissolve that edge, select it, scale it in the X, extrude it out here this way, scale it in the X again, come back here and get rid of this back face. And I think I will hide this bevel for the moment. Select this edge and this edge. Control B. I'm going to bevel these by hand. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to do maybe just the top. I'm going to do that. And let me make sure that's like that. And see what I need. Maybe I don't need some of that stuff. On the other hand, maybe I do. No, I don't know if I do or not. Yeah, okay, I'm going to keep it on. Alright, I'm going to take this and push it back in. Really, the tape goes under there and there's other stuff, and you won't even ever see that, so I don't know why I did it. I probably didn't need to do that. I am going to also take a piece of this again, select it all, Shift D, bring it out, P to break it out. I'm going to get rid of the array, scale it down. I'm going to rotate X. I believe it's -90. Yes. I'm going to rotate. No, I'm not going to rotate. I'm just going to drag this G. I think I will, to center it up. Oh, you know what? It's not that important. Alright, center it up enough. Let's focus on that. Look from the side, and it's a bit off its rotation. Let's pull that down. And onto here is what I'm getting at. That's all I'm getting at. Okay, so what have we done? Got that. We got this stuff. Oh yeah, the little thing that comes through the top of those. Okay, so we'll come in here and we'll grab a circle. Shift D, P to break it out. We'll take this, but we'll get rid of the subdivision. Go in, F to make a face, scale it a bit smaller, E to extrude. We'll pull it down, get rid of that bottom face. Take this, maybe bevel it by, oh, you know what, maybe chamfer it like that. Select the whole thing, just pull it down, shade smooth, and we'll put on auto smooth. Try that. I like that. Just get the size you like. It looks like it goes through. And 3D cursor's there, so I should be able to set the origin that. Should be able to mirror this. Maybe joining various things in the next video. Keep doing that. Okay, and just at the back here, what I'll do is I'll select that, and I will bring a circle in. I think I'll go for 18 because I'll probably do a subdivision on this. So I'm going to rotate X 90. Pull it out. You can do any kind of jacks you want back here. We're almost done. Okay. And I will E to extrude. I'll come in a little bit. And then E to extrude. I'll come out. E to extrude. I'll come in like that. And we'll take this and we'll extrude back. And then we'll bevel. Let's see what I want to do here. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll pull that in a way, so maybe deal with that later. I'm going to select all of these. Control B, just one segment in there. Control 1 for one subdivision. Take this, push it in. There you go. Let's look from the back. I'm going to make it as big as I can. Let's say it was something like that. And I may punch holes in this as well. Maybe I want this wider. Let's turn that off. Come out a little ways. I'm going to scale, but not in the Y. Shift Y. You know, like that. Let's put that back on. I think I'm going to like that better. I think I will make a hole. And so, Shift D to duplicate that. Scale it down. P to break it out. Get rid of the subdivision. F to make a face. E to extrude. We're just making a cylinder, okay, to push through the body. I just need it, you know, somewhere like around there. And I'm going to do another one, so let's look from the back, and I'll go into edit mode and Shift D, determine that I want it there, let's say. So I got both of those. Just make sure that they're facing the right way. See, they're not, so that would have been a messed up Boolean. Now they are, I think. Select the main body, collapse those, do Boolean, put that up, and select those, and apply. I'm going to get rid of those. Just double check my bevel's still okay. I don't want it like that though, so I'm going to come in here. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to Control plus until I get to the surface. Just have that. So I have a hole inside. I don't know why, but maybe it'll look better. And then just slide one of these over like that. And hopefully that's okay. In Substance Painter, I'll put a few bolts and some other details. Maybe we'll do a decal of some sort, either in Blender or Substance Painter, and a bit of stuff on here. I wasn't planning on doing the tape coming down. I might change my mind about that, or I might come in here and grab this and pull it up some more. I don't want exactly at the edge, but you know, and then write some text there so that you don't really even see that. But that's basically it. Yeah, that's it. All right, cool. So I'll save this and we'll do some texturing in the next video.